As I'm laying here thinking um, just about a lot of different things, my mother-in-law asked me yesterday a few questions about like my condition and what I have and stuff, and it made me think no one really asked me those questions, and I was kind of surprised she did. She asked me, what's the I guess what affects me the most, like at work, or like how did I get it? When did I start having my condition, and which is fibromyalgia. And it's, for those of you that don't know, you can quickly Google it. But a lot of people argue that it's an autoimmune disease or illness. A lot of people argue that it's a central nervous system issue, your brain sending signals to your body, which overreact to pain. Um, Sorry, my cat was trying to steal my other cat's food, so I had to take it away. What was I saying? A lot of people argue that again, it's your brain sending the body signals, and your body overreacts to pain. Like, say, a light touch could feel like very dramatic to me at times because of flare up, because my skin will be overly sensitive. Even wearing like tight bras, like anything tight or constricting, can sometimes even hurt, and like it feels like a bruise. It feels very sore, very raw. Like, example would be my tattoo sometimes gets very inflamed, and you can even feel it. Like, if you rub your hand on it, like you'll feel the inflammation. And I'm assuming it's because it's too much inflammation in my body. Um, but and it comes with, unfortunately, I think over 100 symptoms as well. Stuff like anxiety, depression, IBS, um, concentrating issues, memory issues, brain fog, which is like you're very hazy, you're like there but not there, um, which is kind of what I'm having right now. Like, I'm like slowly processing information. I'm trying to remember, and it's like your brain is like lagging. It's like a computer, and it's like kind of like a glitch where it's just like slowly loading. That's kind of how I describe brain fog. Like, I have a lot of issues processing information. Like, it won't dawn on me for a while, or I'll be just confused because I don't understand what someone's saying to me. And it's not even like I'm stupid, it's just my brain like takes a while to catch up. um and it's because your body is, usually that happens because your body is overwhelmed. It's exhausted from constant pain, especially if you're in a flare up, which means your symptoms are very like aggressive. Like, you're in like really bad pain. Like, your pain level would be like maybe a 10, a 8 or 9, when usually it's like a 3 or 4 or 5. um but anyways, I digress. She asked me, what affects me the most at work, and I told her, usually it's cash register. I think it's the motion, the repetitive motions, and anything that I do like above with my shoulders, like higher up, like say for example putting a curtain, like a liner or curtain on my in my shower, that kills me. So similar to that would be, the grocery, like bagging groceries, putting them, bringing them up, scanning them, like that's constant repetition. So that affects me a lot. Walking affects me a lot. Like, after a certain like extent or time, my hips will feel stiff. I might start limping. I'll just be really, really exhausted. My knees will hurt. My feet will hurt. No idea if that's even common with other people. I know a lot of walking obviously can affect your back, your posture, your feet, but for me, it's like I need to sit down, or I can potentially just fall. At times, even it feels like my legs will just like kind of drag. They'll feel so heavy, like bricks are on them sometimes. I know a lot of this sounds very exaggerated, but that's literally how I can describe my how things are for me, my experience. She also asked me when did I start, having these things, and luckily I haven't had them since I was a kid. I think my symptoms started coming up in college at some point, maybe 2016 or so, because I started getting a lot of symptoms Well, it started becoming a issue and like a worry, and that's when I, started seeing doctors for it when I was, I think, my junior year of college or senior year of college. I was having extreme wrist, hand pain, like arm pain right here, like all this, anything like with my fingers. Like I was going to school, and I was also doing an internship, and I was also working. So it was a lot. I think maybe that's what made it pop up. I'm really not sure. But I would literally go home and cry because I couldn't stand the pain. Like it's like severe nerve pain, like burning. My hands would be hot. I would literally soak them in like water with Epsom salt and hope it went away. I couldn't even be on my phone because just holding it like this would hurt. Things like that. So that was very frustrating. But that's when I started, going to doctors and trying to get answers. But I'm very, I think, blessed that I haven't gone through this since I was a child, because I know there's people out there that have, and that's very unfortunate and it sucks. Um, the only other thing I told her that I've noticed for years since I can remember is my knees. My knees have been messed up for a while. Um, I haven't been able to walk. Like say like every time we would go to Six Flags, like as a family every year, I struggled with walking that much because my knees would be in so much pain, especially when it was like raining or humid. Ugh, and that's how I still am now. Even now, like the humidity and the rain is like the worst weather for my condition, because I will definitely feel it. Like maybe I'll be in pain, and it's crazy because like I'll go outside and it worsens. It's wild. I didn't notice that till the other day. Um I just want to speak about this to spread awareness, and I guess kind of share, my everyday life, like how it is to be me, to have this condition, and also to be a voice for others, because I know there's a lot of people out there, especially women, that have this. I think usually women have it more than men. Um, my dad has this. Um, he's very old school traditional Mexican, so I think that he thinks that he's cured, and he tries to downplay a lot of stuff, but in all honesty, this is something that will never go away. It's something that's lifelong. It can worsen at times, it could be better at times. It really has no pattern of well, it's gonna get worse as you age. I mean, it might feel that way because, including aging, the aging process, and as you grow older, you get more aches, you get more problems, along with the fibromyalgia. But um in my experience, it just really depends on your triggers, how you're managing your pain and your treatment. And a lot of it, I think, does have to do with like mental health, because my doctors would stress a lot, like, to exercise, just move, 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 and that's great. But you also need to know what's your limit of moving, because sometimes moving hurts. Moving makes it worse if you or over what is that called, like overexert yourself. That will can put you in a flare up. So it's really hard finding that balance between not doing anything and doing too much, and it sucks. um it's very unpredictable. She told me, like my mother-in-law asked me how come it's, okay for you sometimes, like you can do something and then sometimes it's not. I'm like, that's that's still a big curiosity to me, to till this day. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with, again, the weather, maybe my stress, maybe how tired I am, what I've done already that day, how I've slept. Like I know all of those like affect me, my condition, and like if I'm very sleep deprived, I'll be very crabby, I'll be more forgetful. And this also includes like people with not with this condition. But it tends to be harder for me like during those times. And it's just a mystery. Like I told her, it's really hard to plan ahead, and because sometimes I can't get out of bed. Sometimes my fiance needs to help me move, needs to literally cook for me, like I'm bed bound. Um So it's very hard to just be able to like be spontaneous, sometimes. But I try my best. I usually bring like a big old bag of like my meds, my pain meds, icy hot, um, I mean everything you could think of, honestly. My knee pads. um, I'll have um what else? I'm trying to think what else that I would usually I mean normal things like keys, phone, obviously wallet. But an example, like I usually have a bag with me or multiple bags with me because I'm just preparing for the worst. Um which can happen literally in an hour or two. I could be fine in an hour, and the next hour I'm in like really bad pain. Like it's crazy. To me, the like I said, the my main triggers are stress. Like if I'm stressed, I will hurt more. I will be in pain more. If I'm emotional, like if I'm crying or upset, like mad, I've noticed pain will increase. Um, the weather, like I said, hot and humid weather is the worst for me. Um, Rainy weather. I think it's the my dad told me it's like something for like from like the air pressure changing, which makes sense. Um, Again, if I'm not sleeping right, that would definitely make me be in more pain. It makes you like hypersensitive to pain, kind of. I'm trying to think what else. I think those are the main things that like trigger me. And the only thing that I'm not on prescription medication other than for like my anxiety and my depression. Um, and I do take naproxen as needed. It's specifically it's like NSAID for inflammation specifically. That was given to me for my knees because my knees were acting up for such a long time for a while. But I use it for my overall pain, and it seems to help me sometimes. I'm trying to think what else. I think that was all I really had to say. I didn't really have a plan as to like how to end this or anything. I just started rambling. Um, I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I could always make a follow up video because I feel like I definitely do want to speak more about this. Because a lot of people just have the I hate when people say like you're too young to be tired, you're too young to have all these health issues. No, you're not. It has nothing to do with age, literally nothing to do with age. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves that people say stuff like that. Like you're too young to have such a memory problem, like a bad memory or stuff like no, like I mean there's literal kids with cancer. Like is that what you're gonna tell them too? Like, that's messed up. It's kind of like you're invalidating like their pain and their like struggles, and you shouldn't do that. Um, I feel like that's more of an older generation thing. I definitely get that from like older people. And I don't like when people say, "Oh, you just need to work out more." Or you need to walk more, or you need to lose weight. Like everything's like about weight and stuff, and believe me, it's exhausting. We get that from doctors so much. I would get that like literally at every doctor visit, and I'd be like, okay, so I know I'm kind of overweight, but damn, they would just constantly emphasize the weight and the exercise. And I get it, losing weight makes it easier to be more mobility, like you can move around more because the more stress you have on your joints, your ankles, all of that, it's harder to move. I completely understand that, but at times it's like it's so much easier said than done. Plus, if you're on prescription meds, that makes it harder. Your genes make it harder. Any other pre-existing conditions make it harder. So it's just, it's easy to be like, lose weight, you'll feel better. Um, so it sucks when people say stuff like that. And it's not very realistic or nice. I know a lot of people try to offer advice, but sometimes we're not looking for advice. Sometimes we just want to vent. And that's another thing that I've lately been going on with my fiance about. Like, I'll say something, like maybe complain or make a comment, like, oh, I've been in a lot of pain today or whatever. And he'll be like, I don't know what to tell you, babe. I'm sorry. And I'm just like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm not, he tries to problem solve, and I'm like, I don't need you to solve this for me. There's no way you can even. I'm just like, I am just venting. I just want you to listen. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, like we're not used to that. We're not used to just listening. I feel like we're usually like let me fix this for you, let me make this better for you. But honestly, sometimes you can't, and this is one of those situations where you really can't. Oh, sorry. Oh, trying to think of other pet peeves people tell me, because there's a lot. It's just not anything like supplements, try yoga, try this, try that. Like, I get it, people are trying to be helpful, but if you're not in someone's shoes, like, it's easy, like, again, it's easy to say things and be like, I'm offering advice, like, I'm just trying to be helpful. Again, understood, but honestly, if you're not asked, don't give advice. I highly suggest not to give advice to other people when they're not asking for it, because I don't know, it's not nice. It's not wanted. It's not needed. You know. Yeah, I think that's the end of my rant. If I come up with anything later to speak on, I will. Again, if you guys have any comments or suggestions, anything like that, like, comment below, DM me. I don't care. Again, I plan to make more videos like this. Because it's something that I want to do, and I think I've been wanting to do for a while. All right, bye.